So I just my video finally uploaded about the whole, like I was doing a reaction video to the girl that she said she caught HIV whatever, because I saw a recent one of another girl, and I started going deeper into it, and I'm just realizing the patterns. Because to be honest, do you get what I mean? Because I feel like the video I made, I didn't want to seem insensitive, but then sometimes it's okay to hold people accountable for their decisions, because how are you going to stop this from happening to a future generation? Do you get what I mean? First of all, we need to stop looking at people like, oh, this person looks clean. What does clean look like? Do you get me? Women, we need to stop being so vulnerable to men just because you're looking for some affection. Because people wonder, like, why is it, am I looking down at people when I say, well, I don't do that. I don't involve myself in that. I don't like to partake in this. Like, and I know, because my facial expressions can seem a bit pompous. I know. But I'm not trying to be pompous. I'm trying to just, like, where was the common sense? Where was the... Do you get me? Because these things we were taught in school. We were taught certain things in school. We had sex education. So those are the questions in my head. Like, some people maybe didn't. Maybe some of us, because we grew up in areas where we saw people die of those things, in it, where we saw people die of AIDS, tuberculosis, etc. So maybe it made me more cautious. Maybe. But we can't go around assuming that people are clean, like, and this is the assumption that a lot of women have, that men don't get tested. I've heard women say men rarely get checked, and I'm like, maybe it's the men that you're attracting, because most of the men that I know or that I've dealt with get checked. Do you get what I mean? You really have to check where you are, like, vibrationally, for you to allow. This is why I said you know, there was something I wanted to say, but it will come to me anyway. Because these stories they're heartbreaking, but then, as I said, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. But prevention is better than cure, right? Yeah, because you see some people, the moment they disclose their status, other people don't even want to be around them. And we commend people like Princess Diana, who showed that, look, just because somebody has HIV doesn't mean you're going to catch it from shaking their hands, etc, etc. But people become more cautious and just stay away, just maybe to be safe. But then, do you get what I mean? It's deep. But yes, so I was saying, like, people have this notion that men don't get tested. If a man takes you seriously, he will put on a condom. He will get tested. Do you get me? Once I stepped away from females, I realized that I was in a healthy state where men were approaching me in a healthy manner. Do you get me? Because people are they're feeding each other toxic information. Men are like this, men are like that, men are like this, men are like that. And it's like, okay, you attract maybe what you think. And this is what I kept on telling my friend. Can you like stop being so negative about male the male gender? Because or the way you talk to men. But people end up thinking maybe I'm stupid because, do you get what I mean? My ex used to test every 3 months, and we'll talk about it. We'll sit down and talk about it and be like, have you been tested? Have you been checked? Do you get what I mean? And it was nice that we would even sit and talk. You have to be able to have difficult conversations. Sex and intimacy is more sweeter when you have difficult conversations. Even my sugar daddy, like, fam, if you know the way I dragged that man to the clinic, I dragged him to the clinic. I was like, let's go. Because, my dear, you have to put yourself first. Your self-worth is more important than anything. Like, I'm not trying to preach to the choir here. I'm just saying, like, you get what I mean? The moment that this girl, she said she was 6, when she heard her cousin say, no, I'm not going to participate in my relative sleeping with me like this. And then she realized, okay, I shouldn't tolerate it. From that moment, that's when you learn to keep your self-esteem high. But people are raised differently. It's a shame because sometimes I'm like, I end up feeling guilty for people because I'm like, God, am I being too uppity? But then it's like, no. Yes and no. Do you get? Mhm. People are okay with committing sexual immorality. I mean, immorality. And then when something happens, we now start crying. And it's like, was there no conviction in your heart to say what you're doing? You're not going about it the right way? Because I know for myself, before the action, there's always something that goes through my mind. The last guy I dated, why I miss him so much, like, because he was very serious about protection. Very serious about it. And I don't know where people get this notion that sex with a condom is not sweet. Then it means that you're you're, let me just say, you're having some basic ass sex. If you think sex without a condom is sweeter, ah, my dear, my dear, that latex doesn't feel much different. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's when you're in your feelings, people that end up too much in their feelings because, my dear, it's all deep. When you end up too much in your feelings because most of the times maybe you're missing somebody, you feel low. When you're in a low vibrational, that's when you miss skin to skin contact. That's why you really need to check your vibe. You really need to check where you are vibrationally. Hmm. It's like food. It's like food. Me, I love a McDonald's. I I eat McDonald's a lot, but I'm cautious about, okay, if I've had McDonald's today, then I will try not to eat too much because I'm not going to the gym at the minute. Do you get me? I've cancelled my gym. Your body is a temple. But it depends what type of temple you want to make it into, like, do you get what I mean? People concentrate, like, somebody will come to you just because they want to revenge an ex and then now give you something, or they've been careless. The moment that people see wedding bells, they think, oh, I'm being saved. You don't know. There's certain things that you have to discuss before marriage. Ah. Hmm. And it's not a thing where you sit and just relax. Now that you are married, you are now in la la land, happy days. I'm married. My man will never cheat. Huh? My woman will never cheat. But let's not just say men. My woman will never cheat. She's just God sent, heaven sent. I trust her. This is what one man said to me. Because he was trying to sleep with me, yeah. And then he was also sleeping with some other woman. And then he was like, oh, that's my missus. And I was like, what if your missus cheats? And then he's like, no, I trust her. I was like, you trust her on the basis of, if she finds out that you're cheating with me and then she decides to revenge you and sleep with your best friend and you don't know where your friend has been, plus your friends like to go clubbing, you don't know what they get up to behind your back. And then you say, I trust her. My friend knows what happened in the nightclub. Luckily, she knew of the girl. Her man, because he liked nightclub life too much and because he just wanted to let off steam, he was dating. These times his baby mom was at home and he was still knocking his baby mom. Then some girl who recognized us, she was like, oh, ain't you so-and-so's baby dad? And he was like, yeah. I really like you. Let me sleep. Let's hang out. Let's go. She wanted to sleep with this baby dad, right? These times, we all know that she's got the package. It was only because he rang saying, oh, why am I hearing about you and Dawn in the nightclub? And then he's busy telling her, Oh, yeah. I don't know why I decided not to go link that girl, but I was about to link that girl, but I don't know why I decided. My friend went nuts. My friend went colo. She was like, "You were ready to kill me and my, you were ready to kill me and my kids." And the funniest thing is that the other girl doesn't even know that this is what because the other girl knows that this girl had the package. Yet in this life, she's always smiling in her faces. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. I said to my friend, yeah. I said to my friend, one day I will pepper that girl because what type of madness? I see her all the time trying to be friendly. We should go out, Han. We should go out, babes. I said, this is why you can't trust people in this life. I said, me and my best friend, we have issues for days. We have issues for days. But one thing I thank God is that we fight, but we're very open communication. Ah, this this girl doesn't even know we know what she was plotting in the nightclub. This happened how many years ago? 4 years ago or more. No, my son is 6. About 6 years ago. She don't know that we know. We've been to her house many times. She'll invite us. Oh yeah, babes. Oh yeah, Han. I tried to ask her something to hint. She was just like, oh no, you know how she is. I just said, wow. You see how people will be fake in your face? But then she's upset because of something. And I'm like, what you're upset about has nothing to do with. Hmm? People wicked. People are wicked. Hmm? People are wicked. This is why. If you want to be a prostitute, just make sure you're wise. Because I know some prostitutes who are dying. So, but it is what it is. You women have to get to the point where you open these men's eyes to the point they value their lives. There's more to life than people dragging themselves into a pit together. Mm. Is life that horrible that all you think about is sex? Have hobbies. Have things. This is what I keep telling my female friends. Have things to do. Have hobbies. Go painting. Go. Let's do activities. But you see the same people, they just want to go nightclub. Nightclub. Nightclub once in a while, it's okay. Do you get me? It's okay when it's you and your man. You know your man is secure. You just want to go show face. And you know you're going to go home safe. Do you get me? I'm not against clubbing. But you just open up yourself to many men. Many men. And it's like, you're looking to die. Like today we were having this is how people are warped in the head. Today I was having a conversation, like there was this dating coach, which I like, yeah. And he posted something with Tyler Perry where Tyler Perry said, get yourself a guy that will pay your, sometimes just getting a guy who will pay your electric bill is fine. And then I made a joke where I said, okay, so should I get one to pay my car notes one to pay my electric bill, one to pay my groceries. And then these girls were like, I don't know how it got to this. We were having a laugh. Then I said, well, we do not have to sleep with them because, and then the girl was like, well, if they're all pay, like, so you mean having a roster? I was like, yeah, having a roster, but you don't have to sleep with them. And then she was like, well, if they're paying my bills, they have to have good D. And I was like, this is where it's gone. You have to have good D. I said, even if it's just 1 minute, make him wear a condom, not, and then go about his business while he pays for your groceries. And she's like, well, I don't want a 1 minute man. I said, okay, so let's say you've got 4 guys paying for your roster. They're all gonna go rounds and rounds. Are you going to make sure they're all tests? Are you going to make sure they're all tests? Are you going to make sure that they're all healthy? Because while you're knocking for, they're also knocking outside. While that is just... And then she has the audacity to come and now say, my values are worth more than a Birkin. I said, if you're worth more than a Birkin, you would have a house. A man would have bought you a house if you were with what you're saying you're with, or even a Birkin. What are you saying? I can see why Maya has been celibate for 7 years. I mean, to go that extent is a bit much. I'm not gonna go 7 years celibate. It's just being cautious. It's just being a responsible adult. Do people not see beyond dick? That's why some of you, yeah, you can't be treated nicely. You can't be taken. You know, you have barely ever seen what these men are capable of doing because your mind is just focused on penis. I'm not saying you can't get any disease any other way. Like, there's different ways you can get different diseases. But it's just caution. The people you bring around you. Me, I'm just blessed that people that I bring around me are very open people, so you know Wagwan is going with them, because I've just learned to pull information from people. Mm. Be cautious. Because in this life, yeah, you'll be the same people forcing people. Open an orphanage, open an orphanage. But it's like some of those kids, if people were insane if people were sane in their head, we wouldn't have too much adoption going on, all this extra, because there's a lot of abuse that goes on in these adoption agencies. But because too many people have gone colo, too many people have gone mad. And this is where it's annoying, because people are now attacking the church for doing witchcraft, yet the church has saved a lot of people. Yes, there's certain denominations where people are doing some dark shit. But if you know you're in a good church where I don't want to talk about churches because I don't really know. Do you get what I mean? I don't really know Wagwan. what they get up to. But yeah, I mean, there's hope for people. There's hope. Oh, yeah. Mm, you might as well. You're better off praying to an elephant because at least it's giving you something to do. Ah, mate. People like to, people in this day and age, the people love to glamorize prostitution. They love to glamorize prostitution like, oh, she's got a BBL. She got, her man paid for, look, her man paid for her BBL. Men have paid for her body. This one, people love to glamorize that shit. People have to glamorize that shit. And then when they're in danger now, oh, people have to glamorize threesomes and glamorize. Have you ever had a threesome? Have you ever had an orgy? Have you? And then it's like when you people now catch something within those threesomes. Or you suddenly get pregnant for somebody who you don't know. But because it's a child, it is what it is. Man. I just try not to be judgmental in it. This is why I don't, ah. Women don't know how to conversate with men nowadays. Do they deem it as boring, or they really just don't know the art of conversation? Do you know what's so sitting there for hours just listen, and these men love to talk about themselves. I like Shira because she spits some gems. She'll tell you men love to talk about themselves. If you're quiet enough, a man will tell you. People love to talk about themselves. Learn to sit and listen, because then they can't really spew you lies, because you can always see when a man is lying. Mm. You can't say we're getting bad influence from music because R&B don't talk about, I mean, maybe some, look, if they're calling you a hoe, they're calling you a hoe. But all they've got is girls twerking. Do you see them in music videos? You don't even see them glorifying threesomes like that. They'll just be telling you about their bitch, my bitch, my. So where is this higgity hagara coming from? Where is this madness coming from? Like, it's deeper than this, but I'll start making certain videos for subscribers only, because there's a lot of knowledge that I have to teach, but I'm quite cautious because with sacred knowledge, it's not for everybody. Do you get what I mean? If you're lost, sometimes you're lost. What can I do? Do you get me? I can't save everybody. Am I getting paid? You have to pay me. You have to pay me because you can't give your gems to swine. Huh? Cultivating friendships with a man. Just because a man shows you interest doesn't mean you have to now yes to everything. Huh? Just because a man shows you interest. My cousin, she lives in a beautiful house. Do you get me? And one thing she said is that her husband asked her, he literally, pursued her. He was like, look, they met, and from what I know, she was a virgin, but he pursued her and he was like, look, even if you don't want to be with me, I don't mind just being friends with you. And they cultivated a friendship. If you see them, do you get me? It's a beautiful family. It's a beautiful family. When he's outside, he'll be calling her, baby, I'm coming home. And she'll be like, oh, babe, it's okay. Their house is like, it's such a beautiful home to go to. Do you get what I mean? Full of laughter. And this is why I don't like being too much involved in family drama, because people with negative energy can now look at it and now spew their 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 poison. Do you get what I mean? But that's the dream. They've got beautiful portraits of her wedding. Her wedding was gorgeous. And it's nice to see, like, the girl I grew up with, you know, they're all married. I mean, there's certain things that I may not fully agree with how they do things, but when I go there, I feel free. Do you get what I mean? Like, she does her own thing, she travels, she's not overly dependent on a man. But when they go for family trips, it's beautiful. Like, in my heart, I'm like, this is what I would like. It may not necessarily be in that image, but they have the epitome of love that, I can aspire to. If I was to contemplate marriage. But the thing that hit me was when she said, look, he said, let's be friends. And there's something about, I've sat down with men, and me, because I'll just be just acting, men they will just be talking, telling me things, and, you know, and you'll see some of their tricks of how they pursue women. I'm like, wow. Men will go to extreme lengths just to pursue you. And I'm not saying you have to say no to hold the pom pom and say, no, I'm not giving it to you. There was a woman who said, just cuddling with your man. Just cuddling with your man on the sofa. You really have to give these men something to do. You really have to give them something to do. It's not just bing ding 60 times. Because I find it a lot now where single women have some bad energy towards married women. We don't aspire for marriage. Married women don't like single women. And it's like, fam, stay in your lane, innit? Just do you. But just be cautious, really. Me, I'm happy being single because, not like I'm happy being single. I like having a man around me because one thing about me is that I know how to get the best energy out of a man. It's like, for example, when Tyler, she had her award, and Tyler's skinny, and she was like, "Ish, can somebody carry this award for me?" And then Lil Nas X ran to her rescue, and the American girls were going mad. Oh my God, she's so stuck up. Can't she carry her award herself? And it's like, that's a girl who's in her feminine energy. She got a whole gay man to lift her award for her. He went into his masculine energy for this small, petite African girl. People were hating. People were hating. I said, you people here. They're like, why is she always gyrating in a miniskirt and a bra? I said, she's got the body for it. She has a natural body. The same women who be parading their BBLs. We're not against BBLs. Me, I like a good shaped BBL. Nice shaped silicone breasts. If it looks good, why not? Whose body are you trying to mimic? Is the African woman's body really? The Brazilian woman's body really? Asian women who naturally have curvaceous bodies. They were hating on Tyler. I said, what? People need to check themselves. We can't just be happy naked and just let the skin breathe. Men in summer, they'll be walking around shirtless. Nobody says anything. But a woman now, she's even covering breasts and pom pom. But because her belly is out and her legs are out, so if you want Mother Teresa, go to the Catholic Church. Yet there's a lot of abuse that goes on in them churches. If you want somebody covered up, go to it's just too much. It's just too much. She's even an adult, but because people have perverted minds, they're like, why does she look like a child? No, she doesn't. She doesn't give me a vibe of a child. It's people that are sick-minded that will go and think like that. I have a lot to say. Yeah. And it's just sad. Like, sometimes It's just sad. But then the fact that hurt people, you'll see people that are busy injecting themselves with God knows what, and then they'll now just leave their needles lying around, and I'm like, do you get me? It's like, bloody menace to society. If we think guns are evil, then that is evil. That's evil. If it's in the same crime as shooting somebody, what? You're ruining somebody, giving them depression and low self-esteem, what, because this world, man. And then they'll blame it on childhood trauma. It's like there's so many placards about therapy. There's so many advertisements of what you can do to help yourself. But it's deeper than that. That's the thing. It's even deeper than that. That's the annoying part. I guess that's my thought process anyway. But anyway, I'm getting off.